In this video, we present ExperiScope, our tool for analyzing the experimental results gathered when comparing or evaluating interaction techniques. To use our tool, one needs to gather the logs of events such as mouse clicks, mouse movements, and key presses that were recorded during an experiment. Upon reading the experimental logs, ExperiScope automatically clusters each interaction pattern. For example, the experiment here is considering two types of tasks, repetition and alternation, four modal techniques, persists, spring once, and springboard, and two command selection techniques, lagoon and marking. Inside each experimental cell, the tool further clusters interaction patterns by separating correct scenarios from those that triggered errors. Identical interaction sequences are then aggregated as one pattern. Interaction patterns that occurred less than 5% of the time are grouped as infrequent interactions. Within an aggregation, ExperiScope additionally clusters individual trials by user ID. The patterns in an aggregation with durations larger than 3 standard deviations from the mean are grouped as outliers. Double-clicking on any given pattern opens the visualization window for this pattern. The visualization represents activity both from the dominant hand on top and the non-dominant hand on the bottom. In this example, the maroon color represents a pen device and the blue color represents a command key on the keyboard. Our notation also includes a set of symbols reflecting key events. Here you can see icons indicating when the user marks a command. Labels may be included to indicate system events. In this example, there are flags indicating when a menu is displayed. Users can also add their own annotations. Here we add a label to indicate where a user draws a circle by using the inking command. Our tool also offers several features to help compare participant behavior in varied settings. To compare one pattern to another, simply drag and drop the new technique onto an existing visualization. As you can see, our tool highlights the relative differences in speed using gray trapezoidal patterns. Here, the pattern on top begins around the same time as the pattern below, but then the bottom technique slows down after the first dominant hand interaction. As another feature, to easily identify interesting patterns, ExperiScope allows patterns to be sorted by frequency, duration, and standard deviation. It is also the case that two interactions may have different patterns, while they are essentially similar. In such cases, researchers can create new clusters on the fly through a simple drag and drop operation. The tool represents the disagreement within a sequence of events by using a hatching pattern. The average between two interactions is computed in the areas where patterns agree. ExperiScope also provides an alignment feature. First, we create a reference point on one technique, and then we align other diagrams to this point. This feature makes it easy to compare sub-patterns of interactions within a more general pattern. Because of these features, ExperiScope makes it possible to efficiently determine the areas of interest within a command selection experiment, giving the researcher insight about the underlying reasons for specific experimental results, as well as the diversity of user behavior.